Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're with the News Hour. I'm Madhavdas G. On the show today, the Gyanvapi survey truth is out. As promised on the News Hour by Group Editor Navika Kumar, you'll see and hear every evidence on Gyanvapi here on this show tonight. And I'm going to show you the ultimate evidence. This is the truth of the survey which was conducted by the court-appointed Advocate Commissioner. It's now out for everyone to see. Let me break it down for you. The first video will give you the complete picture. There's a Nandi statue in the Kashi Vishwanath temple complex. Straight ahead, beyond the grill, is the Wazukhana of the Gyanvapi Mosque. What stands between Lord Shiva and his #1 devotee is a grilled gate. Faithfuls believe that this is a sign that this is definitely a Shivling and the entire place is a temple complex. Now, there's another video that Times Now has accessed, and it is the moment when the Shivling was found. You can see the entire team, the legal team, those men in black and white who are present over there on your screens near the Wazukhana. There's a ladder that's also placed as several of those lawyers who were inside, the surveyors, the petitioners, their counsels, they're all there in this particular video. Now, this Wazukhana's water was later drained out and the Shivling was seen inside this Wazukhana. Or at least that's what the Hindu side says. Of course, the mosque side and the Muslim side says that this is a fountain. On to the truth that was buried quite literally. Lotus motifs, Trishool inscribed on the walls of the basement, and inscriptions in Sanskrit that can be seen on the walls of the basement. Ladies and gentlemen, this video clears doubts about whether or not this is a Shivling. So the legitimate question that we'll be asking on the News Hour tonight is simply this. Proof out, can we delay prayers?
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our guests. With us is Ishkaran Bhandari, political analyst. We also have with us Vinod Bansal, national spokesperson of the VHP. Tausif Ahmed is a lawyer and political analyst. Mujeeb Ur Rehaman is an advocate joining us. Mohammad Sajid Rashidi is president of the All India Imam Association. And advocate Kapil Madan is a political analyst. He leans towards the Congress party. Let me begin by asking Ishkaran Bhandari. Ishkaran, what you've seen in terms of the footage of what the Advocate Commissioner's team has found out. Now, this was a court-appointed survey, as we all know. The footage is there for all of us to see. In fact, several of those advocates who are part of the entire process are seen in the footage as well. And many would say that this footage, with much clarity, clears a lot of doubts. Because, you know, what we saw in black and white in terms of the written report earlier of there being a white stone on top of a black stone and the entire shape of it appearing to be that of a Shivling that is found normally in temples to Lord Shiva. All of that is now out in the form of this video that we can see on our screens. Ishkaran.
To me, the question, where was the doubt earlier? You just go there with the naked eye, you can see what happened. There are primary sources which say that how farmans were issued and how temple was destroyed. There was enough evidence, already primary, secondary sources which said that a mandir was destroyed. Only thing is, in court, you have to duly prove your case. And that is why the Hindu side probably moved an application on which Advocate Commissioner was appointed. And what all has come out by the Advocate Commissioner, prima facie, there was enough. That is why, let us remember, the court passed an order to protect the area where Shivling was found. And that time people came and said, no, it has been passed without any rhyme or reason. Remember the first order. There was a reason, and I said that time also on Times Now, courts daily pass ex parte orders. Courts daily pass orders in urgent situations where they have to protect something. And that is why this order was passed to protect the area. Then it went all the way up till Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, vis-a-vis the part of protection of Shivling, upheld the order. Part where Shivling has found was protected by the Honorable Supreme Court also. And now the videos, and congratulations to you, all the videos you are showing on the channel. Where is the doubt if you see a Trishool? Where is the doubt if you see Sanskrit? Where is the doubt if you see Kamal? Where is the doubt? There was no doubt earlier, but now it will just help the case, I believe, because the court evidence has to be proved in a manner,
right.
And I think it's going to be proved in that manner now.
Okay, it's following the legal process. It's following the legal process, Ishkaran. In fact, please stay with us because there are a lot of legal points that have been raised time and again, and of course the matter continues to be in court. So I want to bring in Tausif Ahmed. Tausif Ahmed, if you see these videos, there's little doubt about what the structure actually is, says Ishkaran Bhandari. This is what the Hindu side and the lawyers have been saying all along. And this video now brings out the truth of what exactly is behind the structure that was perhaps behind hidden doors earlier.
No, a head priest of Kashi Kalwar temple has said that what looks like Shivling to many is actually a water fountain. He has seen it from his childhood days. It's over 50 years. Now, you may run some video and claim that there was a case in court and case is proven, but thankfully, Times Now is not the court. You are not the judge. And the matter is sub judice. And the Supreme Court had said not to release things to media, yet things have been released. So we are in a very peculiar situation, and I would advise
Times Now is not claiming anything,
and
sir.
everybody
Times Now is not claiming anything.
Watch what you say.
One second. Mr. Tausif Ahmed, let me just correct you.
Lies are being peddled,
sir,
and you are providing the medium.
Firstly,
Times Now is
Mr.
providing the medium,
Tausif
and
Ahmed,
lies
you made
are
a point.
being
You made a
peddled.
point that requires urgent clarification. Please allow me to do that. What you have said just now, you have raised certain questions about some video which you claim. It is not some video. This is certainly the video that the Advocate Commissioner and his team are seen in that video. It's part of the survey. It's part of those proceedings. Point number one. Point number two, we are not jumping to any conclusion. I have also mentioned what the claim of the Muslim side is. One second, sir. What Mr. Ishkaran Bhandari claims, what Mr. Vinod Bansal claims, and what you claim, there may be differences. One second.
And then you argue what you are saying.
Why should I be party to the case? I'm not party to the case. No media is party to the case. So why should anyone be in a sworn affidavit? This is a debate on the basis of the videos. Mr. Tausif Ahmed, you are neither responding to what has been found. You are asking the media to go and become a part of the court proceedings. Now, my simple point to you is this: all the media has done. Was the media barred in any way from airing this today?
Yes, exactly.
Was the media barred from airing this today, Tausif Ahmed?
Exactly.
Did the court bar the media or gag the media?
Supreme Court judge said not to release anything to the press.
I want Tausif to respond to this. Tausif, now repeatedly, once again, these arguments are twisted. The arguments are twisted. You know, the only defense is A, this is factually incorrect, and B, what you do is also wrong. Now, how can both those arguments go together, Ishkaran? I fail to understand.
It's a very simple point, and you have hit the nail on the head. That's why I was raising my hand. There is no...
The matter is to go in a trial before the court.
Tausif, you asked a question. Please have the courtesy to the other side to respond. Please allow him to respond. You can further question him if you want, if you're not satisfied. Ishkaran, please.
भैया बहुत चीजों पे कब्जा है, मेरे नाम पे कब्जा मत करो. मेरा नाम has been called out, मुझे बोलने दो. मेरे नाम पे तो कब्जा मत कीजिए आप. बात सिंपल सी है. There is no gag order on the media, so please do not misrepresent things. And media's job is to highlight issues and debate. It's not their job to file affidavits in the court. The Hindu side is being very ably represented, and the Muslim side is also being very ably represented. Let the court decide. So please stop trying to play the victim card and say media is covering nothing. It's a landmark case. Of course, media will cover, and the courts have gone towards live streaming in multiple cases, and that is the direction in which the court process, the democracy of this country is moving. Lot of things have been hidden for centuries. Lot of things were hidden after independence. They are coming to light. Deal with it.
Decided by the court in 1930s. And the present case is barred by principles of res judicata as well as by the law of 1991 because the Gyanvapi Mosque is a waqf property.
Okay, that's a fair point.
By the court in 1930s.
I'll allow that point. Tausif, once again. Tausif, I'll allow the point.
Know the record.
I'll allow the point.
You present a selective view.
No, nobody is presenting any selective. This is a court procedure. Are you saying the Advocate Commissioner is selective?
Which helps your
Are you saying the Advocate Commissioner is partisan? You have every right to challenge this particular report in the court also. But the media's job is to report on court proceedings, sir. And that's exactly what's being done. But you have raised an important point of the Places of Worship Act.
Reporting.
Sorry. There is nothing selective, sir. The entire report and everything in the report will be put out now. Sir, what is selective? Please tell me. What is selective? What is selective? You are accusing us of being selective. What is selective in this? What have we left out?
Gyanvapi Mosque Complex.
What have we left out from the Advocate Commissioner's report?
Gyanvapi Mosque Complex. Be patient. Let me finish. I know you guys are being caught. A lot of majority of Indians do not like what you are doing. Yet, and every day they call you Godi media. Yet you shamelessly do the same thing repeatedly.
Just leave the rhetoric and speak on facts.
Had to delete certain things.
What is the facts that have been left out?
Had to make a tweet only to clarify their position. I am saying that yes, Supreme Court, when the matter was before the Supreme Court, the judge of the Supreme Court said not to release.
You are repeating yourself. You have not been able to prove any fact that Times Now is deleted. I'm sorry, sir. You are lying on national television. And I want to bring in Shehzad Poonawalla on that point. Shehzad Poonawalla, 1 second. Tausif, you are just. I'm sorry, but this is empty rhetoric on your part. You accused us of deleting portions. Showing certain portions. I gave you a chance to clarify on that, and you've not been able to substantiate your claim. I'm sorry, you've been called out on national television. I'm going to go across to Shehzad Poonawalla and ask Shehzad Poonawalla an important question. Shehzad Poonawalla, you are representing over here the interests of a big national political party, the ruling party at the center, the BJP. Now the biggest hurdle, 1 second, you made your point, Tausif, we've already heard all of what you had to say. Shehzad, simple question to you is this, that repeatedly legal counsels on the other side say the Places of Worship Act bars any conversion of this place or from that area where worship can be performed. So will the ruling party, and we heard Mr. Subramanian Swamy also mention that this evening, so will the ruling party then talk of repealing this law or bringing another act of parliament?
First of all, Madhav, Har Har Mahadev, and I think सत्य परेशान हो सकता है, पराजित नहीं, और सत्य को दबाया जा सकता है, पर आखिरकार सत्य निकल कर आ ही जाता है और प्रत्यक्ष को प्रमाण की वैसे ही आवश्यकता नहीं होती. Today the video that you are showing has proven in black and white what these people, किसकी दाढ़ी में तिनका था, कौन वो चोर था जिसकी दाढ़ी में तिनका था, who did not want the survey. Now as far as the 1991 Act is concerned, Madhav, this case is first to determine what is the character of that structure. जब स्ट्रक्चर का कैरेक्टर डिटरमिन करना ही बाकी है तो वेयर इज द क्वेश्चन ऑफ कन्वर्टिंग इट. द जज मिस्टर चंद्रचूड़ हैड क्लियरली सेड कि इट्स नॉट बार्ड टू जज द कैरेक्टर ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर एंड देयरफॉर टुडे द एक्सरसाइज इज टू डिटरमिन व्हाट इज द कैरेक्टर. सो व्हाई शुड वी टॉक अबाउट चेंज ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर व्हेन वी हैव नॉट इवन डिटरमिन्ड द कैरेक्टर ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर? अरे सर, व्हाट इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ द ऑर्डर? व्हाट इज पार्ट ऑफ द ऑर्डर? तीन तलाक वाज पार्ट ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑर्डर, you accept it. Hijab was part of the Karnataka order, you accept it. UCC was part of many Supreme Court orders, High Court orders, do you accept it? So stop accepting what you like and disregard what you don't like. This conditional commitment to constitution doesn't work. This is a country governed by Samvidhan, not by Sharia. Now please hear me out completely. Madhav, secondly, there is an exception in the Places of Worship Act, but I don't want to go into that phrase right now, simply because today the matter before the courts is that A, whether the survey should have been done. Yes, the answer is no stay on the survey. The survey is to be done because some women wanted right for Dainik Darshan, for their Anushtan. That is being discussed right now. And in the due course, if the character of the place has to be determined, it will be determined. But I want to ask somebody here who's an Islamic scholar, I can't see who's on the panel. Can there be any masjid which marks Shringar Gauri on the wall, with Nandiji sitting in front of it, with Trishool, with swastik, with all these Hindu emblems and iconography made on the walls, and when you can clearly see Shivling, why are you still insisting on calling it a Fawwara? You are very offended if somebody makes fun of your religion, but today when it is clearly seen that this is a Shivling, the manner in which the fountain lobby continues to disrespect something that is so holy for the Hindus shows the mansikta of these people.
All right. I want in fact to bring in Mujeeb Ur Rehaman at this point of time. Mujeeb Ur Rehaman, there are some questions coming in from the BJP spokesperson. Please respond. These are findings that establish the true religious character of this place. Sir Shehzad Poonawalla, please respond to him.
As per the law, Places of Worship Act, there is no that true character. It's only written the character, and the character of the place is everybody is seeing that people are worshipping there as Muslim people are worshipping, like praying Namaaz, offering Namaaz in that place from since last more than 300 years. No,
Namaz
it matters.
Namaz is offered on many places, including streets.
So, and even
Namaz offering is done on streets also, so that doesn't make the
and in mosque also, and in mosque also,
I am a Muslim,
and in mosque also, and
Namaz is offered in a prayer room.
And in mosque
Namaz
also,
is offered in a railway station.
Also,
Namaz is offered in guest room of television
and in mosque
channel.
Also,
it does not make it a masjid.
And in mosque also.
But
a mosque cannot become a street. A mosque cannot become a street.
Mr. Mujeeb Ur Rehaman.
In your argument,
but is this a mosque or not? It has to be determined.
A street cannot become a mosque, but a mosque cannot become a street.
The character of this place has to be determined.
Character includes practice. Character do not include the place. It's character. What is the character? Character include the practice which is associated with that place.
How have you come up with this convenient definition of character? ये मतलब अपनी मर्जी से कुछ भी आप उसको बोल देंगे.
Word place is not used.
Sir, 1 second.
If word place was used,
I'll give you more facts.
Word place is not used.
Sir.
No more facts. Let's clarify this. Word place is not used. Places, worship places. No, character is used, and character is what is the practice on the date of 15th of August 1947. What was the practice on that place? This is called character.
So what was the practice? What was the practice?
There was Pooja being done in that place.
Yes.
1 second. The Pooja. 1 second. Madhav. By the way, till 1991, Pooja was being done of Ma Shringar Gauri. He is making a claim that will only weaken his own argument.
Which is exactly the point.
Don't
barred by limitation now. Barred by limitation now. Barred by limitation now. 31 years have passed.
Barred by limitation. Right to worship is barred by limitation.
31 years have passed. 31 years have passed, and you are just making up after 31 years. Now Mr. Shehzad is coming after 31 years. We used to worship here. After 31 years, there is a bar of 12 years under the Limitation Act. Under Limitation Act, under Section 3 of the Limitation Act 1963, there is a limitation of 12 years. I am saying you are asking for the possession for the.
How can there be a limitation on right to worship?
You are limited.
Okay, I want to bring in. Okay, let me quickly bring in. I see many hands going up. But I think this is a very, very important moot point as far as the entire argument of religious character, because the Hindu side has always maintained that there was worship happening in 1947. And let me bring in Vinod Bansal. Vinod Bansal, was there worship happening in the year 1947? Because this point of religious character is going to be one that is going to be tested before the courts eventually.
Madhavji, now your debate is going to be a very, very interesting turn. Those do not have any logic. Those do not have any answer to the question. They are going to divert the issue. आप देखिए, कोई कहता है कभी ऐसा मत करो, कोई कहता है कि आप वीडियो मत दिखाओ, कोई कहता है कभी 1991 का वर्षिप एक्ट. ये क्या मजाक बना रखा है इन्होंने यार. हिंदू आस्था को आस्था नहीं समझते, और इनके पैगंबर मोहम्मद साहब को कुछ दे दो तो उसको अपना सर तन से जुदा हो जाता है. शर्म आनी चाहिए इनको ये इनकी धृष्टता के लिए इनका अल्लाह भी माफ नहीं करेगा. The way they are going to insult our religion.
Why you want to insult our Mr. Bansal? Why you want to insult our
ज्योतिर्लिंग पर जाकर के ये वजू करने की हिम्मत रखते हैं, ये वजू करने की हिमाकत रखते हैं, और ये कहते हैं कि ये पैगंबर मोहम्मद साहब के बारे में एक शब्द बोल देते हैं तो बुला जाते हैं. ये सर को तन से जुदा करते हैं.
Let's please stick to the report. 1 second, gentlemen. I want to come in over here. Mr. Bansal, let's stick to Gyanvapi, please. Let's stick to Gyanvapi. Let's not get into this debate. I'm requesting all of you. Let's stick to the facts. There are important points over here being made. Yeah, I want to bring in Kapil Madan. Important point being made over here.
Madhavji, my point is not
okay, quickly make your point. Complete your point. Vinod Bansal.
देखिए, आपका वीडियो हो या सर्वे रिपोर्ट हो या कोर्ट की प्रोसीडिंग्स हो या 1991 के बारे में माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय का निर्णय हो, एवरीथिंग इज वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट एंड क्लियर. इसमें इस केस में 1991 का कोई रूलिंग लागू नहीं होता, कोई कानून लागू नहीं होता. दूसरी बात ये कि जो वर्षे हमारी 1947 में हो रही थी वही वर्षे आज भी हो रही. मैं कहता हूं उससे रोकने की कोशिश क्यों करते हैं. तीसरी बात ये कहना चाहता हूं, आखिरकार जिस तरह से वीडियो में साफ साफ दिख रहा है, हमारे ज्योतिर्लिंग को, हमारे भगवान को, इनको छुपाने की इन्होंने धृष्टता की है. और उसके ऊपर वजू करने का जो पाप किया है, वो पाप की सजा तो इनको भुगतनी पड़ेगी। जिस प्रकार से आप कर रहे हैं, मानिए सर्वोच्च न्यायालय में जाकर।
Okay, that's an emotional argument. Let's stick to the law. Let's stick to the law. Mr. Bansal, I'm just going to ask everyone to be very responsible tonight, because these are arguments, these are situations that can inflame passions, and it's quite obvious why. Our job, of course, is to examine the law, to examine the Advocate Commissioner's report in the context of the law, and what will happen from here on. I want to bring in Kapil Madan on that note. And Kapil Madan, this is a very important point in terms of not just the findings. There are motifs of lotuses, Trishool, of writings in Sanskrit that has been found in the basement, notwithstanding the video which clearly shows the position of the Vazukhana and the alleged Shivling, or the location of it, just 80 feet away from where there is a Nandi statue.
So Madhav, look at one thing. Why a survey is required? Survey
is required when the court wants some help by an independent person to ascertain a few facts. Now, once a survey report is there, both the sides, the plaintiff is also at the liberty and the defendants are also at liberty to file their respective objections. Now, what has happened here, look at, you have shown the video. I have personally not visited the site, and I am sure you have also not visited the site. You should wait for the other side to file the objections. Once you hear both the sides, once you have arguments from both the sides, who are the plaintiff and who are the defendant, you can argue better, and this discussion will be more meaningful in that situation. Right
nothing
now,
precludes
what you are hearing
that in court.
So,
Kapil Madan, nothing is stopping any side from going before the court and making those arguments.
I am saying something else. Madhav, I am saying something else. Madhav, I am saying something else. If you recall, on the last day of hearing, the Honorable Court has given opportunity to both the sides to file their respective objections to the local commissioner's report. I am personally not aware whether those objections have been filed as of now or not. If the debate has to happen, the debate has to happen on both the sides. And we have lawyers here on the panel who would agree that if you want to...
So who's stopping that debate from happening? Who's stopping that debate from happening?
Madhav, all I'm saying, okay, Madhav, you have shown the local commissioner's report. Perhaps it was not supposed to be there in the media. Now you should also talk about the objections. Do you know what are the objections?
Please, tell us the objections.
You know?
You tell the objections, sir.
How would I know? It is the defendant who has to file. And since you have...
Nobody has stopped anyone from coming out with the objections. Mr. Mujeeb Ur Rehaman is coming out with his own set of objections. He's spoken about the Places of Worship Act. It's not like we are not in the business of gagging anyone. Mr. Mujeeb Ur Rehaman, Mr. Tausif had their free say.
Madhav, you are missing the point here. Madhav, you are missing the point here. The point I am trying to say here, if once you have the objections also...
Mr. Madan, nobody is stopping anyone from going to the court. Everyone is free to come and share their point of view here. One second. It is certainly not the job of the media to, with every report and every examination that is carried out, to carry the objections along with it. Ishkaran, does this logic hold any water?
Madhav, can I come in for 5 seconds? Madhav, can I come in for 5 seconds?
Okay.
Let us be clear on...
I'll come to you. Shehzad, I'll just come to you. One second, let him make his point.
Firstly, what is happening here is...
no, it'll get lost in the...
Whatever the debate is happening on time now doesn't stop anybody from filing any objection in court of law. And Kapil knows that very, very well. He is just trying to delay the proceedings, not have a fair debate, because you on record asked him, and there are 3 people, Kapil and 2 other people, what is your objection to the report? They can say it. They have taken some objections on Places of Worship Act. Let me just cover it in 3 points. Firstly, it is not yet clear that does the Places of Worship Act apply on the dispute or not. That application is pending in court. Prima facie, Supreme Court, they asked in the Supreme Court that all orders be set aside because it's barred by Places of Worship Act. The Supreme Court did not indulge their prayer. The Supreme Court did not agree with them. So whether this act applies or not, the court has to decide. Second part, if this act applies, is this act itself constitutional or not? That is pending again before the Honorable Supreme Court. And third part, if this act is constitutional, nothing stops the parliament for repealing it. So there are 3 things which can happen on this act. It may not apply, it may be unconstitutional, it may be repealed. So stop taking the defense of the act and talk about the evidence which is coming out. Talk about the Trishool, talk about what appears to be Shivling, talk about Kamal, and that debate in a democracy the media must do, and I compliment the media for doing it.
Okay, Shehzad.
Firstly, Madhav, there is a 1983 Act not passed by the BJP government, by a Congress government. In Section 4, subsection 9, it has defined that particular location as the original Adi Vishweshwara Ling, Jyotirling. Secondly, the 1997 Supreme Court has described how Aurangzeb broke the mandir and tried to establish what they believe is a masjid. Apart from that, there is the Gazette. There is evidence in the 1936 case of Deen Muhammad that this was a place which was originally Hindu, including Salman Khurshid's book Sunset over Ayodhya or Sunrise over Ayodhya, where he's mentioned very clearly that Aurangzeb broke a mandir, destroyed this temple and tried to create a masjid. So this evidence exists. Today you're only showing in black and white in video, and none of that can change. Just because Times Now or any news channel shows what has been discovered in that entire videography doesn't change the fact that has been discovered. Now, if they have a problem with any of these discoveries, they can argue it in court. But the question today to Kapil Madan, because his leader, Congress party leader Rahul Gandhi, wears a janu over a coat and says he's the biggest Shiv Bhakt. Sir, does this appear like a fawara or is it a Shivling? So I'm asking you to talk not as a political party representative, but somebody who's proud of his Sanatan legacy.
Yes, yes. Now you made a remark against Mr. Rahul Gandhi. I'm going to ask you a question. We also saw Mr. Narendra Modi wearing glasses and doing meditation.
I have not made against
what kind of Sanatan? No. What is wrong with that? What is wrong? Is this Sanatan Dharam? किसी को देखा है आज तक किसी साधु को?
You missed the wood for the trees. Your problem is you missed the wood for the trees.
Your problem is Rahul Gandhi. Your problem is Rahul Gandhi. You will use Pegasus. Your problem is Rahul Gandhi. Your no debate, your no discussion goes without a mention of Rahul Gandhi. You will not talk about the subject. You will talk about Rahul Gandhi.
Okay.
अब मुझे ये बता दो.
If you are so embarrassed of Rahul Gandhi, you should remove him from your party, sir.
Let's come back to the subject.
That's not the discussion.
Let's come back. Let's come back
Can
to the subject.
you comment on what is being seen in the video?
We have political debates every day, gentlemen. We have political debates every day. Let's come back to the video. Let's come back to the video, please. And I want to bring in Mohammad Sajid Rashidi, who's president of the All India Imam Association. Mohammad Sajid Rashidi जी, सवाल ये उठाया जा रहा है, बीजेपी के प्रवक्ता का ये कहना है, हिंदू साइड का ये कहना है कि ये एक कोर्ट्स द्वारा स्थापित की गई प्रोसीजर और एडवोकेट कमीशन के द्वारा जो पाई गई फाइंडिंग्स है उसे हम इस वक्त डिस्कस कर रहे हैं और कोर्ट की प्रोसीडिंग्स जारी है, तो इस पे ऑब्जेक्शन कैसे हो सकता है?
देखिए, मैं एक चीज़ समझा हूँ इस पूरे मामले से, 10-12 दिन से 15 दिन से ये डिबेटें चल रही हैं और हर कोई एंकर, हर कोई प्रवक्ता, हर कोई स्कॉलर ये कह रहा है कि ये मामला कोर्ट में है और कोर्ट ही इसका फैसला करेगा और वही सबको मान्य होगा, लेकिन फिर डिबेट हो रही है। देखिए, मैं आपको एक चीज़ बता देता हूँ, 1991 का सेक्शन 3 ये कहता है कि अगर किसी वजह से ये भी साबित हो जाए कि मंदिर तोड़कर मस्जिद बनी है, मस्जिद तोड़कर मंदिर बना है, तो साबित होने के बाद भी आप उसके कैरेक्टर को चेंज नहीं कर सकते। जब 1991 का केस हमें ये बता रहा है, तो ये सारे सबूत इकट्ठा करने का फ़ायदा क्या है? मुझे बताइए, आप क्या करेंगे सबूत इकट्ठे करके आप? और ये कल एक चैनल पे था, मैं नाम नहीं लूँगा, स्टिंग ऑपरेशन, झूठे स्टिंग ऑपरेशन, झूठी बातें, इस तरह की बातें स्टिंग ऑपरेशन में किसी आदमी को पकड़ के बता दिया ये मस्जिद के इमाम है, ये कह रहे हैं कि नहीं जी ये तो शिवलिंग है। अरे भाई, शिवलिंग को तय करेगा कोर्ट, फव्वारे को तय करेगा कोर्ट। ये बंदर जैसी एक्सरसाइज जो आप लोग कर रहे हैं, जिससे कोई फायदा निकलने वाला नहीं है सिवाय इसके कि आपकी दुकान चल रही है।
एडवोकेट कमिश्नर बंदर है आपके हिसाब से? एडवोकेट कमिश्नर को आप बंदर बुला रहे हैं, क्या कह रहे हैं आप?
अरे भाई, आप लोग मेहनत कर रहे हैं ना, आप
कैसे भाषा का प्रयोग कर रहे हैं? आप
बिना वजह की मेहनत कर रहे हैं ना, कोर्ट डिसाइड करेगा ना।
भाषा का क्यों प्रयोग कर रहे हैं
आप बताइए मुझे, आप तो डिसाइड नहीं करेंगे, आप डिसाइड करेंगे क्या?
बता रहे हैं कैसी भाषा का प्रयोग कर रहे हैं?
नहीं, आप डिसाइड करेंगे कि मंदिर है, मस्जिद है, आप डिसाइड करेंगे।
हमने कुछ नहीं डिसाइड किया, हमने एडवोकेट कमिश्नर के रिपोर्ट के वीडियो सामने लाए हैं। अब आप तय करके बताइए आपको क्या दिख रहा है?
तो मेरे भाई, जब कोर्ट डिसाइड करेगा, ये एक्सरसाइज क्यों हो रही है?
जब कोर्ट डिसाइड करेगा, जो सारी एविडेंस और सबूत इकट्ठा हुए हैं, क्या हम उसको दबा दें?
इसका मतलब क्या है? कि लोगों को जो गुमराह किया जा रहा है, आप लोगों के थ्रू जो हिंदुओं को, मुसलमानों को गुमराह किया जा रहा है, इसका मतलब क्या है मुझे बताएंगे आप?
बताओ डिबेट में
क्यों आप ये इस तरह की एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं?
विनोद बंसल
जिससे हिंदू मुस्लिम, ये देखिए विनोद बंसल जो है, विनोद बंसल इसीलिए बैठते हैं।
यह शिवलिंग है, उस शिवलिंग को छुपाने की कोशिश की गई थी और बार बार आप लोगों ने उसको रोकने की कोशिश की थी।
मेरा एक सवाल है विनोद बंसल से, मेरा एक सवाल है विनोद बंसल,
वीडियोग्राफी नहीं होने दी।
मेरा एक सवाल है विनोद बंसल से, सुनेंगे आप?
सामने देखिए
मेरा एक सवाल सुनिए।
अरे मौलाना साहब ये बताओ, आप इमाम काउंसिल के चेयरमैन हो या कोई झूठ काउंसिल के चेयरमैन हो? ये सारे के सारे इमाम ऐसे ही होते हैं क्या? आप मुझे बताइए।
अरे मेरा सवाल सुनो, मेरा सवाल सुनो। वो तो सभ्यता है आपकी, इस तरह की उल्टी सीधी भाषा बोलना तो आपकी सभ्यता है। मैं कई बार कह चुका हूँ कि आपकी परवरिश जैसी है वो पता है सबको। सुनिए सवाल सुनिए।
वीडियो बनाना गुनाह है और उसके बाद में आप खुद ही जा करके टीवी चैनल की डिबेट में शामिल होते हो। जिस थाली में खाते हो उसमें छेद करना बंद करो।
मेरा सवाल तो सुन लीजिए।
मौलाना साहब, जिस थाली में खाते हो उसमें छेद करना बंद करो। जिस टीवी चैनल ने आपको
रशीदी साहब
कम से कम उसका रेस्पेक्ट करना।
थाली तुम्हारे बाप की नहीं है।
आराम से रशीदी जी भाषा का थोड़ा प्रयोग जो आप कर रहे हैं नेशनल टेलीविजन पे, आपको याद दिला दूं, आप अपने थोड़ा सा भाषा को थोड़ा संयम रखें। ये इमोशनल इशू हो सकता है, लेकिन आप किसी भी तरह के शब्द प्रयोग नहीं कर सकते हैं और ये सब पे लागू होता है, किसी एक पक्ष पे नहीं। मैं सारे पैनलिस्ट से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि दे कंट्रोल द लैंग्वेज एंड सर्टनली नॉट अलाउ द इमोशंस टू गेट द बेटर ऑफ देम, because this is clearly the kind of language that is completely unacceptable on national television, whichever side would use it. I would say the same. But I want to quickly bring in Ishkaran Bhandari. Ishkaran Bhandari.
काउंसिल कैसी होती है पूरे देश को पता है।
Okay. Viroji, let me bring in Ishkaran. Ishkaran, you know, the kind of arguments that we are seeing, if there is a court process, why are you discussing it today? You know, this is a very bizarre kind of argument that is coming out. There is an advocate commissioner's report. And as Shehzad said, whether Times Now put it out today, whether someone else put it out tomorrow, this is going to come out in the public domain, whether we like it or not. Eventually.
Madhav, it is not an absurd argument. It is an argument made by those who do not believe in democracy. In a democracy, any issue can be discussed in a moderate, mutually satisfactory manner on a public platform. But those who do not believe in democracy or those who have things to hide, we heard earlier people saying that advocate commissioner's report should be confidential. Today we heard on live TV, सबूत इकट्ठा करके कर क्या लोगे? So they don't deny that they are सबूत. They say सबूत इकट्ठा करके कर क्या लोगे? अगर सबूत मिलता है कि वो शिवलिंग है, अगर सबूत मिलता है कि वहां पे काशी विश्वनाथ मंदिर था, अगर सबूत मिलता है कि वो तोड़ा गया, तो क्या कर लेंगे? उसका जवाब आपको कोर्ट से ही मिल जाएगा, क्योंकि भारत में एक न्याय प्रक्रिया है, उसके तहत आपको जवाब मिल जाएगा। क्या होगा मैं इससे ज्यादा नहीं बोलना चाहता, बट सी द माइंडसेट वेयर दे डोंट वांट पीपल टू गैदर एविडेंस. This entire act of 1991 was made so that people cannot approach court, and that is why, as per me, it is unconstitutional. It does not apply in this case, and it is unconstitutional, and that is why they are nervous, because they know there is such overwhelming evidence in this case that they will suffer worse consequences in the court.
Mujeeb Ur Rehaman, do you agree with this statement of the earlier speaker, Mr. Rashidi, where he says सबूत इकट्ठा करके कर क्या लोगे?
The first thing is this is the purpose of the Places of Worship Act, that one place cannot be converted into the place of another religious practice. This was the soul of our secular society, that we will not claim one religious place to the another religious place. We will not claim like this. But this practice, it is saying that we will repeal the Places of Worship Act, or we will amend it, or we will even repeal the Section 3 of the Limitation Act also. This is not going to happen, and this is no. Apply it, certainly apply. Limitation also apply, and Places of Worship Act both apply. Limitation also apply. Both apply as per the law. Both apply, and these proceedings, these proceedings, in my opinion, these proceedings are unlawful. These proceedings.
You are believing in the laws of India. You believe in the laws of India, then neither applies. Do you believe in
these are the laws of India. These are the laws of India, and right in my hand. These are the laws of India, right in my hand, and I can read out the line by line, word by word, and I can read out by word by word. I can read out by word by word. I know everything. I know everything.
Word by word, like a parrot,
yes,
is
yes.
different from
They
understanding
apply.
it.
Yes,
Either you are deliberately not understanding it, or
no. You are ignoring it. You because you do not follow the law of the land. You have a tendency not to follow the. You do not have the tendency to follow the law of the land. You do not accept that constitution. You do not accept Tiranga. You don't accept our sovereignty. You don't accept our unity. You don't accept our diversity. You are the people who do not accept. You are the people who do not accept.
Today I have a right to pray.
These laws are nothing. Even you do not you want to replace the constitution. So this is the point for you. You do not respect anything. You do not respect.
Okay, quick. Before we wrap up, I want to get in some more comments. Tausif Ahmed, you agree with this argument that was made by the earlier speaker? That's a question I just posed to Mr. Mujeeb Ur Rehaman. सबूत इकट्ठा करके कर भी क्या लोगे? That's a statement. He calls it a बंदर वाला report.
You see, this matter is barred by res judicata. This matter is barred by the law of 1991, because ultimately the question is same, that from 1947 onwards till today, the Gyanvapi Mosque complex remains a mosque, remains a work property, and you cannot change it. You cannot convert it from mosque to temple. So why this media footage, why this survey, why this litigation? Because it helps BJP politically. It helps certain people collect fund and do whatever they want with that money.
Did the BJP appoint the Advocate Commission, or did the court appoint it, sir? Simple question.
Of the people of India.
Mr. Tausif.
At the cost of development work that the government is doing.
Simple question.
At the cost of unemployment,
small
at the
question.
cost of rising price,
Mr. Tausif,
rising prices of petrol.
Mr. Tausif, I have a small question. Who appointed this Advocate Commission? Was it the BJP? Was it the centre? Was it the state government? Or was it the court?
A wrong order of the court. A judge who erred in passing the order. That's
okay, it's a wrong order.
That's how
Shehzad Poonawalla, I want Shehzad to respond. It's a wrong order. That's it.
You know, when the Teen Talaq order came by the Supreme Court, that was also wrong order. Afzal Guru was hanged to death, that was also wrong order. Yaqub Memon was hanged to death, that was also wrong order. UCC ki wakalat Supreme Court ne ki, that is also wrong order. Hijab Karnataka High Court order, that is also wrong order. For these people, it is wrong order whenever it never suits them. Madhav, I don't interrupt anybody. I don't believe in that kind of debating. Why are these people so impatient?
Okay, Tausif, quickly, we have very limited time.
Either my time can be protected and I can speak.
Carry on, floor is yours.
Yeah, can I speak? Thank you. Yeah, Madhav, there are three fundamental questions. First of all, Madhav, there is no limitation on a constitutional right. For instance, tomorrow if somebody wanted to demand their right to equality, or their right to life, or their right to worship, which comes under right to practice of religion, there's no limitation that applies to that. I can go after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, there's no limitation on that. Point number two, if there was, the Supreme Court would have said, no, this matter does not apply here. Thirdly, today the character has not been determined. Please understand one thing, mere recitation of Namaaz does not make a place a mosque. It's been clarified many times over.
Okay.
Mr. Tausif may be doing his namaz in his bedroom. That doesn't make the bedroom a mosque. But the point is, today we have to determine what's the character of this place. And that can be determined only after a videography. Why are they hiding from the videography?
Very interesting. Very interesting point, because we must remember what the Supreme Court also observed. The Supreme Court also did very pointedly say, amongst other things, that determining the religious character of a place is not barred under the Places of Worship Act. And I think even though that was an oral observation, it is a very, very important one in the context of what is happening. So clearly, of course, the courts refusing to stay this entire proceeding at some level or the other is also being seen as a significant one in light of the larger findings. I'm going to leave it there for the moment. I'd like to thank our panelists for joining us.